We are obsessed with appearing cool. We treat it like the highest form of maturity, the person who glides through life untouched. We have our kids aim for that. We aim for that. There's a word for it. It's called nonchalant, which comes from the French word chaloir, which means with heat. So literally speaking, nonchalant means without heat, to be cold. And I got so good at that, I thought that was the puzzle, until I realized I had it upside down. I went to circus camp, and a man on a rooftop taught me that I had this whole thing backwards. As a young man, I went to circus camp. This just goes to show you how uncool I was. I was excited after circus camp to come back and tell my friends about it. They laughed at me so hard, I quickly realized that I went to soccer camp. Because that sounded cool. That sounded normal. But I went to circus camp. They teach you to juggle. They teach you to walk on your hands, walk on a tightrope. They teach you to improvise. Nothing about it was serious. Everything about it was teaching me to be human, to be more me, if that makes sense. My mother had a word for this. She called it muchness. And at circus camp, I learned muchness. You might remember Alice in Wonderland, when the Mad Hatter looks at Alice and says, "Oh, Alice, you used to be much more muchier. I think you've lost your muchness." And your muchness is who you are. That pilot light inside you, your soul, your neshama, what makes you you. At circus camp, you learn to juggle. But the interesting thing is, if you're not dropping, you're not trying. At circus camp, you learn to walk on your hands. And you have to wobble. If you don't wobble, you can't stay up. If you stay too stiff, you fall. When you improvise, you have no plan. You stay open to the present moment. The only rule is, there's no rule. Yes and. If you're not present in this very moment, you might just miss it. I understood circus camp. It made a lot of sense to me. I knew what I had to do to be myself at 12, and I spent 20 years on learning it. Then I got into the world of corporate. That was a whole other puzzle. They gave me a blue suit. There was a ladder to climb, and gosh, I got good at climbing that ladder, like a monkey in a suit, climbing up that ladder, all the way up. They told me to fit in this box, fit in this cube, stay in that cubicle, and excise all the parts of you that don't fit. Anything that stands out, anything that is outstanding, cut it out. I got so good at this, I could have won an award. Best performance for a middle-aged man trying to pretend nothing bothers him. Dramatic category. I could stand up in a boardroom with a table a mile long, a perfectly manicured PowerPoint, deliver really challenging news to other dudes in blue suits, and feel nothing inside. And I thought I had it made in the shade. But the insidious thing that I didn't realize is that I also could receive news and feel nothing. I was so well practiced, so well trained, I thought that this was the game. Boy, was I wrong. My wife and I were on our fertility journey for a year. A year of hope and disappointment living side by side in silence. One night I could hear her crying in the bathroom. I stepped up to the door. I wanted to help. I wanted to be there for the person that mattered most to me, about the thing that mattered most to us, building a family. And I froze. The guy who practiced being nonchalant, who had all the perfectly manicured answers in the boardroom, couldn't figure this out. I guess I traded the circus for safety. I had frozen to death inside. One night, needing an escape, we went to a small theater and watched a man on a roof dance. This guy had just lost his job. He had a young family. And by all measure, I thought that he would fall. He had no safety net. Instead, he danced. He envisioned a world that didn't exist. He didn't dismiss what had happened to him. He just brought his own heat. He imagined a million dreams, a technicolor world of possibility and what might come. He was full of muchness. And I sat there thinking, where did I lose my way? I thought I had it all sorted. Something inside me cracked open that day. It was as if a lightning bolt shot through the roof and hit me in my heart and reignited something inside me, that pilot light that I had lost, that I had swept under the rug, that I had dimmed, that I had trained out of myself. And I thought, I don't want to be this guy in the chair watching this man on the screen. I want to be the man on the screen. I drew a line in the sand and stepped over it. I decided in that moment, during this significant emotional experience, that I am going to change who I am from the inside out on purpose by design. And I thought, if nonchalant means without heat, then chalant means with it. Hot, bothered, passionate, alive, caring about things that I actually cared about. What's to be human if it's not to care for things that you care about? How do you know what to prioritize if you don't know what you care for? If you care for nothing, do you stand for anything? That song became our family anthem. And it wasn't just a song, it was a mantra. It was a beacon. It was this guiding light that helped us open up to what mattered most, being who we are, bringing our muchness to life. That very song is the song that I sang to my daughter when she was just a hope inside her mom's belly. That song I sang to my son before he ever opened his eyes. That's the song we still sing at bedtime. I think I missed it tonight. But every night, except tonight, I sing that song to them. Not because I have a good voice. I have a terrible voice, y'all. But because my kids need to know that I care about them unconditionally, that I am present, I am here, I am chalant. My mother knew it as muchness. I learned it at circus camp. My kids know it as a lullaby. 3 generations, 3 languages, 1 truth. You are allowed to care. We need each and every one of you in the audience and anybody watching to know that we need you. We need you to step up and care for things that you care about, even when it makes no sense to your friends and your family. But it makes sense to you. To be chalant is to admit that you care. When the world is trying to have us regress to the mean, sit in the center of the bell curve, to mute us, to push us down, I'm telling each and every one of you that play is not childish, that love is not foolish, and that care is not weakness. The world doesn't need more cool heads. It needs more warm hearts. So let yourself play. Let yourself imagine. Let yourself dream again. Be chalant. Thank you.